Hello there, my stamping friends. Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a Christmas card project to share with you. It's going to feature the Trees for Sale stamp set, and I am using the Designer Series paper, which is the host paper from our fall catalog, Celebrate Everything. And it's got this fun black and white paper on the back of the Granny Apple Green pattern paper. So I'm using Granny Apple Green as my base and then this as my background paper, and I'm going to be doing a fun fold for you, a double Z fold card, which goes together rather easily, but sometimes it takes a little practice. So I'm going to do that design for you today. So let's just go ahead and get started, okay? So first off, I have my card base cut. Okay, it's a regular size card, and then the front is folded back halfway to create a Z fold. Okay, and then it has not a belly band, but it's like a double Z. It's the same piece, only this one's much thinner, and it also has that double Z in it. Okay, so when we put them together, it's going to open and close kind of like a pull card. Okay, so first thing I want to do is we're going to adhere our Designer Series paper just as kind of a background to these three panels. But I decided I didn't want to leave them black and white. So already before I started with the video, I went and got my Daffodil Delight, my Soft Seafoam, my Granny Apple Green, Old Olive, and Mossy Mellow. So these are my greens in my blends plus my yellow daffodil for the stars. And what I've done is I've already colored those with my blends to add some color to background images. So I'm just going to swap out the black and white ones for my colored ones. So really easy, just using those markers to color in your paper just like you would if you were doing a coloring book. So those wonderful blends make that happen. So now we're just going to go ahead and add these three panels to the background of our card. So I'm just going to use my liquid adhesive and get those tacked on. Now I colored them before I adhered them down because sometimes if you use a lot of the ink from the blend marker, it'll bleed through the paper and then it'll bleed through the base of your card, and you don't necessarily want spots of ink on the flip side of the card. So I colored them first and I adhere them second. Okay, so the first big panel and then these two just get placed right in here. For the background. Okay, so far we've just colored and paper and scored and folded, and now we've got our base card. Okay, so from here I'm going to take my second Z, right, my skinny Z, and I'm going to bring out these three pieces of Designer Series paper, which is scrap from the other side, and these are just cut down to fit inside of these sections here. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere those right now. Now you could add, you could emboss it, do dry embossing, you could stamp on it, you could add a sentiment, you could leave it plain, so whatever you wanted to do on your card, but I just decided to dress it up since the back side was the color of the card base, that it just coordinates nicely with the Granny Apple Green, so I'm just going to go ahead and add my pieces to my project. Okay. Now to adhere this piece to your card, okay, what you want to do is this is going to go over the front. So the long section is here and then two short sections. So I'm just going to go end to end. So what I want to do is on this piece in the front, okay, however high or low I want to put it, I want to put it about here. I'm just going to add some adhesive right there, right to the card. Now I never do that, right? You never put adhesive on the front. But in this case I do, and this is why. Because I'm going to put this down and line it up with my edge so that it goes straight across, and I only want adhesion behind this section. So by putting it down on the card itself, where I've got that score line to help guide me, I didn't have to worry about having too much over here. Now this last one is here, flip that up, add adhesive there, and then I'm going to tack that one down. Okay, and then when I fold it all up, you get this double Z card base. Okay. Okay, so now I did say I was going to use the Trees for Sale stamp set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my trees. Now I've got the 3 trees from the set, and I've got my Granny Apple Green ink. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink these up, and then I'm actually going to stamp them off because I don't want them to be too dark. So I'm just going to stamp them off once. Give them a little huff, and then I'm going to stamp them down on a piece of basic white cardstock. Okay, so there's that. Now, I have detailed trees that coordinate with the set, so I'm going to put these over the top. Just position them right over your stamped images. If I can get them to let go of my fingers. There we go. Okay, so now I've got 3 detailed trees. Now I'm just going to take this block and set this right down over the top and pick up those detailed stamps. Okay, and then I'm going to ink this with a second green. This one I'm going to ink with the Mossy Meadow. It's one of the second greens that I used in the background. And this one I'm going to leave nice and dark. And then I'm just going to come and put this over the top. And I can see through everything, so I can position it for my best fit and then just stamp that down. Now if it really bothers you, you could take these off and just see through the main block, but I could see through everything well enough to go ahead and just stamp it like that. Okay, now if during celebration you were lucky enough to get the coordinating dies, you can go to your die cutting machine and just go ahead and use the dies and trim those right out with the dies. If not, get out your paper snips and go do some fussy cutting. Now to save a little time, I have already fussy cut some trees. So here are my 3 trees, okay? The magic of video, my 3 trees. Now, while I've got that, I'm also going to stamp my sentiment. So I borrowed this die from my Leaves of Holly bundle, and I'm taking the, I wanted to do the So Very Merry sentiment. It looks like I've misplaced the So Very Merry sentiment. Well, isn't that fun? Okay, well, this is what we do with videos, right? Okay, so instead of So Very Merry, let me think. I guess we'll do Christmas Greetings instead. And instead of putting it on the tag, here's my Christmas note. Oh my. Well, there's So Very Merry. There it is, So Very Merry. Okay. You ever do that? You stamp and you just lose things that are right in front of you? Okay, so back to plan A. So Very Merry. So from the stamp set, Trees for Sale, So Very Merry. I'm just going to put that on my block, and I'm going to use red for a little bit of contrast. And I'm just going to stamp that down on my tag. Alright, back on track. So, here we go. I'm going to first add my So Very Merry there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some trees along the card to kind of dress it up a little bit. And you could do more than 3 trees, right? It's your card. You can decide how many trees you want to do, but you can do as many trees as you want. So first off, let me just go ahead and add So Very Merry to my tag. And then I'm going to add my trees, and I'm only going to put adhesive kind of on the bottom of the tree because I'm going to put this on my belly band. So I don't want it to stick to the back necessarily, especially if it's in a section that comes up off the bottom back of the card. Maybe I'll do a tree right on each one. So. And you could do as many trees as you want. I'm just doing 3, just kind of keep it simple today. Okay, so I've got my sentiment, I've got my trees, and then you can see when I open and close my card, I've got trees all along there. So there you go. There is my holiday card for today. If you need information, of course, you can jump on over to the blog. I have all the information over there. And while you're there, check out my new month class in the mail about making fun fold cards. I've got a new offering where I'm going to be mailing out pre-made templates and then a template kit that's ready for you to practice making the same fun fold. So if you're interested in fun folds and you need a little more hands-on help, check out my class over there. Alright guys, thumbs up, comments, visit the blog, leave me comments over there, ask questions. I'm here to help, and I'll see you again real soon. Thanks guys, bye-bye.